For a lot of people out there, there's 2 Alien movies, and then other films that contain xenomorphs in them. I'm in that same boat. But I do in fact enjoy a lot of the Alien films, I just recognize that they're not very good. That said, today I'm going to be ranking the, as of now, 8 Alien films, including those AVP things, and we're going to see if you agree in the comments. Let's get started with the worst. Remember when Alien vs. Predator had a plot revolving around predators being the ones that created aliens, bringing them down so that they can battle them? I think pretty much everyone agreed that was the dumbest idea ever. Well, Alien Covenant says hold my David, because now we have a new lore, where an android created all the xenomorphs by experimenting in a laboratory, a cave, mixing potions and blending spices and herbs and coming up with the perfect xenomorph creature. This movie is so beyond stupid, it's hard to watch. In fact, I don't ever want to watch it again. It's just a series of comical follies that take place as our characters forget to wear helmets on a brand new planet and get infected with a virus that puts an alien inside their body. How is that not the #1 apex predator already? Not only that, but the fact this is supposed to be the sequel to Prometheus. It takes the entirety of that film and throws it away. Gets rid of the main character, gets rid of the creators, gets rid of the entire basic concepts behind it, and instead opts to do some masturbatory story about David and his country bumpkin android friend who's a twin. I can't remember his name, Gus or Kip or Ned, something small, something quaint. And the protagonist is that chick from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I don't know how she continues to get work. She has no charisma on camera, and her hair has a mop sitting atop it. I don't know what that hairstyle is, but I hate it every time I watch, which is once, and only once and never again. Alien vs. Predator, Requiem. Whatever that means, that doesn't even make sense in the context of the film. The sequel to Alien vs. Predator says, we're going for broke this time. We're focusing more on the alien conflict. We're making it a hard R. There's gonna be blood, guts, gore. It's gonna be more of a slasher flick. These things all sound promising. On paper. In execution, holy hell no. For starters, the whole film is shot in night vision, and I don't mean that technically. It's not like there's a camera that's showing the greens so you can see what's going on at night. No, I mean it's shot in literal night vision. You can't see shit. This movie's so dark I can't tell if I'm watching a xenomorph or a predator win a fight. I can barely distinguish between the two. We have to have our human protagonists, right? They're paper thin. They're just garbage. C-list actors. They bring nothing to the table, one-dimensional. Thankfully, most of them are killed off. It's not a particularly pleasant movie to watch either. There's multiple birthings of xenomorphs in female bodies, pregnant females giving birth to little litters. I don't know, packs? I don't know what you call a group of aliens. We'll say a flock? We'll say a flock. The action, when you can make out what's going on, is abundant, but mediocre. There's nothing exciting on display. I can't think of a single shot that wowed me. So the movie's an all-around miss. The only reason it's higher than Alien Covenant is Alien vs. Predator was already really stupid, so it didn't do a disservice to the movie before it. It's shorter than Alien Covenant, and there's a lot more action and blood and violence, so I'm already more attracted to that, even if I can't make out what's happening. Alien 3 is considered a David Fincher film, and I think that's unfair. He's one of my favorite directors. This is not a David Fincher film. This is a movie that passed through many different hands, from both a directorial standpoint, from a writer's standpoint, from a studio standpoint. Well, not studio, I think the studio stayed Fox the whole time. Regardless, it's a bad mess of a film. It has its apologists. There's people that like the film. It's quaint. It takes place on a prison planet. Sigourney Weaver's back. She's now birthing one inside of her. We like this alien baby pregnancy shit, I guess. Anyway, she has to kill herself to get rid of this disease, this virus, this creature that David built. We know David made it from Alien Covenant. That's one of David's kids. The sacrifice scene is powerful, I'll say that. The final 20 minutes are pretty heartfelt. It gives me a little bit of a Terminator 2 Judgment Day vibe. Just the whole energy of this movie, though, is so somber. It's so dire. Killing off all the characters from the last movie off screen was a pretty shitty thing to do. And it's honestly just a slog to get through. This is a boring movie. Not a lot happens. There's so many uninteresting conversations with the prisoners that I don't give two shits about. The gore is fine, it looks good, but then we have ugly CG aliens running on the ceilings. Horrible, horrible effects. And it's an ugly film too, both from the filmography standpoint and just the location of a prison. There's nothing interesting or pretty to look at. And you can make ugly look pretty, but unfortunately Fincher doesn't do that here. Even when he takes hundreds of takes to try to get it right, it's still wrong. Alien vs. Predator, or AVP for short, is the definition of a blockbuster. It's been pared down to a PG-13. It's loud, it's dumb, it's action-packed, and ultimately it ends with you wondering what the hell just happened. For all the film's shortcomings in the script department, which is all of them, I have to say, I've seen this movie a handful of times, and I find enjoyment out of it. It's the first movie on this list that I revisit and say, you know what? I'm ready for something stupid that I can sit back and get entertained by. There's some pretty cool fight scenes between the creatures, even if it is watered down to PG-13. The effects are surprisingly really well done, with a good mix of practical and CG at play. The Queen is still kick-ass, and then we have that kick-ass reveal at the end that maybe the Predators didn't win after all. I did fail to mention that Alien vs. Predator Rectum, as I'm now calling it, brings us our hybrid Predator-Alien combo. It probably looks cool, but I couldn't see it ever because of, you know, the shadows and everything. It kind of looked cool though, the moments I could make out, so props to that. I know a lot of people weren't a fan of the human teaming up with the Predator, getting that marking, getting the alien shield and the spear. I kind of like it. I know. I kind of like it though. I like that she kind of rose to the ranks of a huntress, and they respected game respects game sort of a thing. AVP, baby. I guess it's a guilty pleasure of mine because I don't outright hate it. For many, I'm sure seeing Alien Resurrection this high up on the list is insulting, but let's look at the movies that I put on before this. It's not like we have a stellar pedigree of films on display so far. The screenplay for this was by Joss Whedon. Remember him, kids? He was once a director, and I guess he was just kind of shunned out of society. Sigourney Weaver's back. She's now a clone, because we had to figure out a way to bring her back somehow, even if she's not quite the same character. I dig that she's more of a super soldier now. She's a human-alien hybrid. She's got super strength, some speed, some quick thinking. I'm all in. Plus, she does that cool thing with the basketball and then makes it from behind the back. I mean, she'd be great on TikTok. She would kill it on TikTok. Plus, we got Ron freaking Perlman in this, who looks like he's never showered a day in his life. He's just pure 100% uncut man. Winona Ryder's in this. It's just a ragtag group of just some of the worst garbage people on the planet who have to take on the Xenomorphs. It's a fun time. Lots of action, a totally different feel. This one's grosser, it's grimier. It's definitely dumber than the first three Alien movies. Especially the ending where we have that cute little baby, that little human baby alien going, mama, mama, and then it gets sucked out of the airlock or whatever. Oh no, it's like a hole in a window. It's just, you just see the fat and the entrails and the guts go out into space. It's disgusting. It's awesome. Ridley Scott's back, baby, on Prometheus. He looked at those other Alien movies. He said, enough already. Enough of this nonsense. I'm going to show you how to do it somewhat kind of right, a little bit, and then never again. He might be an overrated director, come to think of it. No, can't be. Prometheus has all the fixings for a great Alien movie without quite getting them right. Looks gorgeous, sounds impeccable, has a great cast of characters, a terrific lead, a stunning Charlize Theron. Is she an android? Is she a human? Who knows? She's cold, calculated, and beautiful, and I want her to notice me. Magneto himself, Michael Fassbender, is here playing David. Good things come in small, something or another, whatever he says. He's great in this, and then he's ruined inevitably in the next film, but right now, David's awesome. The problem with Prometheus is it sets out to make a movie that's not Alien. It sets out to make its own thing that will eventually become Alien. So it's kind of hurting itself. Ridley Scott hinders himself to somehow make his way into the Xenomorph territory when he could have just as easily done this own separate saga, and it didn't even need to connect. But of course, with prequels, you gotta connect them in the sloppiest, shittiest way possible. The creator stuff is compelling though. We find out we do in fact have a creator, and it's big ass aliens. And they hate us. They want us dead. But why? Why did they reach out for us if they just want to kill us? How come this plane crashed on this planet? Where is the real creator planet? All of these questions and more will barely get touched upon in the next film. Thanks, David Lindelof, you piece of shit. You've done it again. It's Lost 2.0. For all the good characters, though, we have really dumbass decision-making skills, like the scientist who's trying to coochie-coo the snake-like serpent that comes out of the black gooey water that was a little baby worm that got massive overnight. Decisions by these people are mind-numbingly stupid. Charlize Theron not being able to hook a left or a right, you know, and running from a giant wheel. I just realized it said hook a left, and I actually pointed to the right, so maybe I would fit in with these people. Regardless, the shortcomings are not enough here to overwhelm the overall script, the overall story, the overall themes, tone. I like Prometheus. I've watched it several times. Covenant, though, that's where the dumb department overwhelms everything, and what's left is a turd. So, Prometheus, great. We'll stop there. And you know what? We kind of can stop there, because at the end of Prometheus, we get that angsty teen xenomorph that comes out. The evolution is kind of complete at that point. We didn't need to have David making pumpkin spice lattes in the cave. We got the transition at the end of Prometheus. It's game over, man. Game over. Speaking of which, let's go to my number 2 spot. Oh, I subverted expectations because I quoted Aliens, but that's not on my number 2. Alien is. And if you've been watching this channel long enough, you know that I've already done an Alien ranking video before on best and worst. And it's not the same as this ranking because opinions change over time, as has mine. I've gone back and forth on Alien and Aliens. I put them pretty much equal, but as of late, I'm really appreciating everything James Cameron's brought to the table, and I'm starting to get pissed off by Ridley Scott. So Aliens gets bumped up. Before little Newt was running around and hiding in air ducts and the humans decide to terraform an alien planet, we just have a small crew on a ship answering a beacon, answering a message lost in space saying, "Help me, we are having trouble," and they do. And that was the biggest mistake they ever made. Because although they didn't find any human life on that planet, something alien came aboard. Ripley tries to warn the dumbasses to follow protocol. They don't listen. An infection takes shape, blows out of a guy's chest. I'm doing it from the stomach. It's up here. I don't know my right and left. I don't know my stomach from my chest. I clearly should be on one of these ships with these people. I'm a moron. Ridley Scott shoots the scene impeccably. Never before has an audience seen such a horrific thing play out. That little disgusting alien bursting out of the chest, flying across the table, really ruining everyone's appetite. And then it goes into hiding, into the chains where it gets massive, taking out bodies one by one, picking people off as they go through air vents, shooting little flames, hoping to scare this beast away or burn it out of existence. But they can't. It's a freaking apex predator. It stalks, it hunts, it's what it does. It's got that freaking mouth that juts out of the other mouth. It's fucking awesome. I freaking love Alien. The atmosphere is haunting. The space setting is brilliant. There's nowhere for these people to go. They have to face their fears head on or die trying. And unfortunately, that's what pretty much all of them do. I'm happy to say they found a way to save the cat when all things were said and done. And we found a way for Ripley to strip down to basically nothing. Congratulations, Ridley. You used to do things better. It's high-octane action-adventure. We got a bunch of xenomorphs now, not just one to deal with. We got space marines. We got the dude from Terminator in this, John Reeves. Sigourney's back, better than ever, fitter than ever, spunkier than ever. We got new characters. Bill Paxton, pour one out. Cool-ass android, cool-ass little girl. There's a queen alien in this, the queen bee, and her nest of hatchlings that'll get torched by freaking Ripley because she's had enough of this shit. This is a kick-ass movie. It's one of the greatest action sci-fi films of all time for a reason. And that reason are all the things I just listed. So not really just one reason. Well, James Cameron. Well, that's my Alien ranking. Do you agree? Leave a comment. Do you disagree? absolutely leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, especially, because you have bad taste compared to me. And that's my opinion and a fact. If you had a good time, make sure to like the video. If you had a bad time, make sure to subscribe, because then you could tell me that my videos suck in the future, and that would really own me. I also do put out a ton of movie content now on this channel, so if you could also subscribe just because you like the stuff. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Take care. Oh my God, you're still here. Hey, if you really like what I'm doing, and since you stuck around, maybe you do, either that or you just left the phone on and you went to the bathroom. Regardless, if you're listening, maybe check me out on Patreon at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies, or right here via the join button. You can become a member. Say, you know what, Adam, I like what you're doing. Here's $1 a month, or here's $5 a month, or wow, I love what you're doing. Here's 20 bucks a month. I'd really appreciate it. It helps keep the channel going. It helps keep me invested. And I just would like to say thank you ahead of time.